Hey everyone, welcome to our episode with David. Got David on today. He's got a story to share. Before we get started, I will shout out our sponsors, Elevate Marketing Group. Thank you to them for sponsoring this video. If you need a website made, they're the guys you need to get in contact with. Check the link in the description below. I've been forgetting to shout them out, but I remembered today because I saw David's face and I was disgusted and it reminded me.
Come on. That's not how you do guests.
Yeah, but you're no regular guest, mate. You're my brother, so you don't get special treatment.
Oh wow. I thought you were gonna big me up in that sentence. I can't lie.
What would I say about you
I
that's
was ready
enjoyable?
I was ready for you to be like the best guest I've ever had on this podcast. I was like, thank you, mate.
I'm a
I've done
humble
it
guy.
without you.
Oh my days.
God.
Oh my days. Now, what do you have to share with us today? What's coming up in your life? What are you looking to do in the next few years of your life?
Next few years. First. We have to say, guess who's back?
Oh
Back
my,
again.
oh my God.
David's back.
Tell your
Tell a
friends.
friend.
Yeah. Oh my.
That's what we have to do. We have to beat the guy up.
Oh my
I'm back.
gosh. Oh my God.
Maybe I'll stay. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But
people like you will keep you on.
of course they like me. I'm a likable guy. But what's happening in my life? Not much. Just vibing, seeing where things will take me, and just going with the flow, taking it one step at a time, making plans for the future, and maybe there's a big move on the way. Maybe, possibly.
Oh my God. So before, you were looking at football, that kind of stuff. I think last time we got you on, you were 17. Was that right?
Time flies.
Now you're 18. You're a big boy, about to be 19. How's that feel?
Scary.
Scary.
Because every year I'm getting older. What's happening?
I don't know if you know, but you share that experience with everyone on this planet.
It's only me, mate. It's only me.
Oh my God.
I'm getting older. I'm getting up there. As I would say to you.
Me?
Yes.
I'm a young guy, man. I'm just
I don't know who you're trying to fool.
23. Shout out to my 23-year-olds.
Mm,
We're
getting
young.
up there.
We're young still. But yeah, what's up for you? What's coming?
What's coming? What's coming? There are many things coming. I'm thinking of many different ideas. Thinking of even starting an app. I was talking to you about this app, this survey app where you can go on. I'll create an app where I'll put different surveys on the app, and then once you go on the app, you can complete different surveys so you can earn money.
He
I'm
wants to
trying
be
to
a Nigerian
monetize
scammer, is basically what he's trying to say.
Prince David Onyike.
Send me something.
Pick up the phone. I'm calling.
Pick up the phone, baby. Ooh. Oh my God.
You just gotta feel the groove sometimes.
Oh my
Pick up
days.
the phone, baby. Oh my, what
Oh,
is that?
I thought you were gonna keep going. I was liking it.
I'm not feeling that one. I was feeling the other one, but all this one.
Oh wow.
That one, I cannot explain it.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
the surveys, you go on there, complete a survey. I'll find a way to monetize it, and then you earn money. And you give me a bit of money too. It's just how it works.
Hmm.
But yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
So you're
What are
looking
you
at
doing?
what am I doing?
Yeah.
This episode is about you, mate. You don't. That's
Why
not how
can't I,
this works.
why can't I ask my brother how he's doing?
How am I doing?
Yes, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. It's not bad.
Thank God. All glory be to God.
Yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm obviously on season 2 of this podcast, looking to potentially wrap season 2 up soon. And actually, you've just given me the floor to actually talk about what's coming up on the podcast. So that's actually kind of cool that you did that. Which, big brain. You big brain that one.
You don't even
But
have to say it. You could just,
it's just there. Oh my
it's
day.
just connection.
But yeah, I think looking to wrap up season 2. start planning for season 3 and make sure that we have a few more things set up. We're trying to set up a space for season 3 so that we can record more efficiently and just keep improving the quality and keep pushing things forward. So that's kind of how and what I'm doing and what's come up for me in terms of podcast.
Yeah.
Then on other front, music, I've been a bit quieter on that side recently. Just been trying to focus more on this podcast. Obviously working still as well and that kind of thing, but we'll kind of link all these things together. As a lot of people know, my music is kind of an extension of what we talk about on this podcast and that kind of stuff. So I do think, I'll get back into the music as well. It's just, for those that don't know, I've moved to Brisbane. So
Wait, what?
you're a twat. You actually got me for a second. No, that's why I'm saying you're a twat. You actually got me for a second. I was like, wait, did you not know? And I remembered we're brothers. And then I was like, okay, yeah, you do know.
I'm
Yeah.
just doing the calculations and saying they're not calculated.
I was like, oh, did I not tell you? And I was like, hold on a minute, bro. Yeah, no, okay. So this guy's in Canberra. I'm in Brisbane. Brisbane, Vegas, mate. Brisbane, here you go. Brisbane, Vegas.
Who's it that?
That's what the locals say, bro.
Are you serious?
No, they don't. But that's what it's called. It's called Brisbane, Vegas. Do you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, you're a twat. We already established that. You're a twat.
I guess I'm a twat.
You're a silly ball. You're a silly ball. But yeah. No, so what's coming up for the podcast and what's coming up in my life, but we will kick back to you. So you're talking about surveying. I think what you're getting at is you're just looking at a few different ideas, what you can do, kind of try and discover what's next for you in this chapter of your life. And you're 18, right? Turning 19. So you've obviously, you're out of school years now and you're kind of at the beginning of that age of discovery where you're thinking, okay, who do I want to be? What values do I want to have? What's important to me? You're kind of looking to get yourself established. Is that correct, or am I putting words into your mouth?
No, that's right. That's right. Looking at who I want to be, trying to find out who I want to be through different experiences in life. And like I said before, just taking it one step at a time, not rushing things, just having a level head and tackling problems head on.
Okay. And how do you keep a level head?
Well, when I'm with you, I can't, but
Oh, right. The heartstrings. Heartstrings.
But I guess I'd say to keep a level head, you just got to be focused. You got to be focused on what you want to do in life. You've got to really sit down with yourself. You've got to plan these things out. Take deep breaths sometimes. Figure it out. Thank you, mate. Because you've been stressing me out.
Oh my god.
So this is for you, actually. I was giving you advice. I wasn't giving them advice. I was giving you advice. So yeah, take deep breaths. Relax. Sometimes even yoga and that stuff helps. I have this app. It's called Lumosity. Shout them out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Lumosity, where you can go and do these brain games. You can go and do some yoga exercises, breathing exercises.
When the heck are you doing yoga?
I am. I do yoga. Come on, man. Pick me up. I'm not happy.
I've never
I
seen
do.
you do.
No, like I do it sometimes. Well, it was mostly in England. Mostly in England. I don't really do it as much anymore, but
Kappa.
sometimes I do.
You see?
It's not cap.
You
Am
have
I
to.
wearing a cap on my head?
You should be with that hairline.
Yeah, I can't lie. That's probably better trim, bro. I can't lie. Man's gonna make me do these ones throughout the episode, bro. No, don't come at me, bro. Let's talk about your cut, bro. Let's talk about your cut.
My hair is
When
looking fandibliosis.
you look like a Niger boy. Proper, I know I'm wearing this shirt, but
Am I not a Niger
I
boy?
should I should post this over to you because you look like you're fresh off the boat.
I am. I'm Nigerian. I'm proud. I don't forget our ancestors. I don't forget where we're from. Have you?
I don't forget.
Oh, you're a
I
white
don't
boy
forget.
now, huh?
Oh my
Oh, you're a white boy now, huh? Okay.
god.
But yeah, no, I think what you're saying is that in that age of discovering this. Oh my gosh! Oh
That nearly killed me. I'm not joking.
I was looking
Woo.
down and talking. When I look up, I see you're actually dying.
Oh my gosh. No, bro.
That's what happens when
I
it
was
goes
about
down the wrong
I,
hole.
no, but I was about to call you and be like, Emeka, come help me, mate. Come on, help me. Come and help your brother out.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. That's peak. Don't choke.
This guy's too much, man. This guy is too
Oh
much.
my.
Yeah, that age of discovery where you're kind of, it's gonna be a difficult time because you're learning a lot. You're being
Mm,
put in uncomfortable situations. That's one thing we talked about in the episode with Liam as well. At the time of recording, it's not out. It actually comes out tomorrow. But
okay.
yeah, so it's a good thing that you didn't act like you had watched it. Because man
I
was
was
nodding.
waiting.
You were
I was
nodding.
just
And I was
I
like,
just agree with you.
you haven't even seen the episode, mate.
Oh well, I'm just like, do I trust him? Do I
Oh
not?
wow. Oh wow. Yeah, so what we talked about in that episode is doing things that was great. That was a great speech you just had. Doing things that are uncomfortable. Obviously, speaking for me is quite uncomfortable. I obviously fall over my words sometimes, but if we do things that are uncomfortable, we can become more comfortable. I was actually talking to someone the other day as well, and there was something they were talking about. They were saying they're uncomfortable about, and I was trying to encourage them instead of fighting it and instead of trying to deny that you're uncomfortable. If you can actually just say, actually, yeah, it's uncomfortable. That
Mm,
already makes you feel more comfortable. You
yeah,
get
like
me?
sort of embrace it.
Yeah, if you just accept it's going to be difficult, like if you're about to, I'm going to say jump off a cliff, but probably if you jump off a cliff, you're not coming back from that. So let's,
Hold that thought.
oh my God. Yeah, actually, this chat's been dragging on, so I think I might just.
It's been a bit
But
long.
no, if you're about to do something that's a bit challenging, a bit scary,
Mm,
a bit difficult, you might be like, "Oh gosh, this is daunting," right? If you're able to just voice it and say, "You know what, I'm about to run a race here, and I'm a bit nervous." If you just say, "Yeah, I'm actually a bit nervous," it actually lets you feel better about what's about to happen. Whereas if you're in your mind trying to deny, actually, no, I'm nervous and what, it's just it puts yourself in a much more difficult setting because now you're even trying to fight yourself rather than embracing those things. But once you
yeah.
begin to embrace things in your life, that's when you can actually do something about them. And that's kind
Mm,
of, I think, where you're at is you're now having to realize, okay, yeah, I need to embrace, okay, maybe things haven't always gone the way I wanted them to, but now I'm in this space and I have this opportunity where I can embrace things about myself and realize, okay, this is what I like about myself, this is what I don't like about myself, this is what I want to do, and maybe I have this idea now, and I think it seems like a good idea, and maybe later on I might not like it. But
yeah.
even this podcast, for example, if I look back at some of the stuff I've said before, I might be like, oh, okay, the way
You
I've said
dickhead.
that,
No, I'm
oh
joking.
my days. No, I might be like, the way I've said that, I could have delivered it a bit better. There's
Yeah.
two options I have there. I can either embrace, okay, well, the way I delivered it, it wasn't the best, but people can kind of understand. And then I can use that, which will then further
Yeah,
boost my
like not beat
confidence.
yourself up.
Yeah, don't beat myself up about it. Or I can be like, oh my God, why didn't I do that? And then I'll be less motivated to continue doing episodes. I'll be less, committed and
That's why.
consistent with what I'm doing. And we have to realize that in the process to getting to where we want to get to, this is a bar. In the process of getting where we want to, let me just re-say that again so I can get this nice. In the process,
Reloading.
oh my God. In the process of getting to where we want to get to, we have to realize there are going to be mistakes we make along the way. So what?
Streaming on all platforms.
Oh, out now on all platforms. What's that guy? Anyway, read my mixtape. Out now, no, out.
I swear I've
What's the
heard
name
that
again?
guy.
Yeah, it's your mate, the guy you like,
No, I don't remember. Can't lie.
the guy with the teeth.
What teeth?
Forgot
You
his
talking about
name.
my
Out
teeth?
now on digital platforms or whatever he says.
No, I don't remember. I can't lie.
You know the guy that was like talking
You
about.
know I'm not good with names, so
No,
what
you are.
offense?
You know this guy. He's the guy that he said he went to some girl's yard and then cars pulled up outside or whatever, and Bear Man got out of the car.
Oh, Castillo.
Castillo, that's the one. Yeah.
But the way you were saying it didn't sound like Castillo.
Yeah, I know
You're
because I was
normally good with what's it called?
interpretation
Yeah,
out now or digitals. I can't remember how he does it. I haven't listened to him
yeah.
in a while.
It's not looking good, bro.
It's not looking good, bruv. Yeah, I can do that one. But I really watched a guy like that. I can't even lie to you.
So,
But yeah, so we have to allow ourselves to make mistakes and realize, okay, things aren't going to be perfect. Things aren't going to be boom shakalaka all the time. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest
for
of
the
our
rest of your
day.
days.
It's our problem free.
Ooh,
Philosophy.
yes.
Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
Hakuna
I see.
Matata. Oh my god. It's almost like I make music or something like that.
What you do?
Big man thing, yeah. I'm on that.
Oh.
You know what I was doing
What's
last
your
night?
name? What's your name on Spotify?
Emeka, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty hard to remember, because it's my name, actually. So,
Oh, is that
what kind of
so?
is that? Who's that
Is
video?
that so?
Is that so?
Is that so?
I feel like we're just gonna be talking about memes the whole time, man.
Yeah, I'm good. We can sit down and we can talk for like 5 hours, bro. I swear.
Yeah, legit. I was actually watching SWIL last night.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Without me?
mate. No, sometimes you have to do things in private with the people you love. I can't be sharing that with everybody.
Okay. I shall do.
Yeah,
We'll
no, I
keep
was
it
watching.
moving.
Huh?
I
Oh, we
said
keep
we'll
it
keep it
moving.
moving.
No, I was watching SWIL last night. Watched episode 1. Gotta watch some more another time. But I was introducing it to someone. That's why I didn't tell you about it because I was like, I wanted them to, because if we watched it together, we would have talked the whole time about the episode,
Yeah.
and I
That's
wanted,
what happens when you're
yeah,
watching something with someone for the
especially when you're
first
watching it
time.
the second time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just watch it with that person because I wanted them to have that fresh experience, and the way I had to be like jumping my mouth.
You have to be flipping pinching yourself.
Shanice, your
Oh
mouth
wow.
is moving like a rat.
Yappa yappa.
Yeah. Yappa, yappa, yappa. Oh my days.
I see.
Oh my days. Oh, my.
But yeah, when you're watching something, I swear, bro. When you're watching something with someone that's just watching it for the first time and you've already watched it before, you have to flipping pinch yourself. Like, okay, maybe it's hard for me. I
Especially
can't lie.
you. That's what I was about to
I
say.
can't lie. It is
Especially
hard.
you that loves
What's
spoilers.
what's the let's name some of the things that we've watched together that you haven't watched that you've
Mate,
watched for the first
mate,
time, but I've
every
watched
every movie we
already.
watch together, other than
Every
everything other than Game of Thrones, you've already watched. Game of Thrones
every
and SWIL are the only things that we've watched together that we haven't watched the other episodes.
uh,
And Parks and Rec. No, you already
oh
watched Parks and Rec.
yeah,
Actually,
it's
you already watched
possible.
Parks and Rec. You hated it, and you were trying to like. We only watched it to see if The Office was better or Parks and Rec was better, and obviously, hands down, The Office is better.
Don't ever doubt the office.
Don't ever doubt The Office. You know when people
Someone
tell
said
me
the
that they
office.
don't like The Office, I just
That's what
try to
they
explain
believe.
to them something is going wrong in your life, and I understand.
Hmm. Maturing is realizing that The Office is one of the best shows ever made.
It's just something that people. It's something that cannot be disagreed on.
Yeah. You have to let them come to that conclusion and yeah, you have to let
You
them.
can't always tell people what and how they should think,
Yeah.
but sometimes when they're so wrong, it can be so hard.
Hmm.
But with that, you say, okay, let's just sit down. Let's just sit. Let me be there for you. Let's sit
Hmm.
down together and watch.
Let me hold your hand.
Because what you're not understanding in this situation
Yeah.
is The Office is a
Preach.
sensation that
Preach.
you will not be reaching if you're not understanding the joke. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm done here.
Give him a clap. Give me a clap. That was really-
we'll put your number. We'll put
Oh
your
my god.
number across so they
Oh
can
my
reach out to you.
god. Reach out, grab my hand.
Wow.
But
Oh
yeah,
my days. No, that was a dumb idea. I was like, imagine if we did this. Imagine if YouTube was 3D and you could just like put your hand out and someone could just feel it. Well, it'll probably come like with AI
I
and
just
virtual
thought about
reality.
my next idea that I'm gonna steal. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
wow. Oh, wow. So my next idea, something that I've been working on as well, is no.
It's not my problem.
Oh, wow. So yeah, okay, you've got a few ideas of stuff you want to do, and are you said you're taking it day by day, which I get and I fully understand, but is it something that, are you looking to get stuff done with some sort of urgency, like in terms of, are you looking at, okay, take it day by day, but I'd like to have this done by 5 years or 10 years, or what's your kind of plans for your life? And also, you're in your first year of being an adult, being a man. How has that felt? And what are some of the things that you've learned in that process?
Mm, first year being a man. Yay. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one because you're expected to do a lot. You're expected to have a lot more responsibilities. Expected, yeah, to take these responsibilities on head first. And sometimes it can be hard going to people and talking to them about what they've experienced so that they can help you along the way. So it's good
Wow.
to have an older brother that can help you through these things. Because it's not easy. Oh my, man's getting a bit too emotional. I'll give you a minute to let that sink in.
Yeah, legit. Nah, keep going, keep going.
But yeah, it's not easy, and you almost need like a mentor to help you through these things so that you don't get lost because it can be daunting, it can be rough, but if you're able to find that someone that can help you through these times, you're able to grow and you're able to be a better person. Like I said, just take it day by day and just see what comes of it. Because, for example, with me not like before in the early episode when I was on here, I was talking about how this injury affected um, my career in football. So right now, I'm at the stage where I'm not really looking to venture into professional football in the future. So yeah, the ideas that I'm coming up with, like the survey and the idea that you just said, 3D YouTube, they're different things that I want to look at. Like before, my whole focus, my whole life, I would say, was on football. Just yeah, football. How do I get better in football? How do I train? How do I do this? How do I, how do I get stronger in football? How do I perform better overall in football? So just shifting my focus onto different things and just seeing where it takes me.
Yeah, kind of switching up your mindset and realizing, okay,
Mm.
this is what I was focused on before.
And like another thing I want to add is that I've always, no matter what, the outcome for me in my life, whether that be in 5 to 10 years, is always to be rich, wealthy, successful. So I was looking at it like if I don't play football, I can't be those things. But that's not true. You can find that outcome in different areas. You can venture into different things. It doesn't have to be the one thing that you were set on, um, like my football. You can do other things. You can look for other things to help you be successful in different areas and help you reach the goal and the outcome. The outcome shouldn't change, but the things to get to the outcome might have to change.
Yeah, that was wise. That was good. Yeah, because for me as well, with football, I thought exactly the same as you thought. I thought if I don't make it to football in a professional capacity, I'm a failure. And how will I even get to where I want to get to? And, for me, And obviously, as you get older, you kind of refine some of these beliefs and stuff that you've talked about. And so, one thing that you've talked about is, okay, you wanted to be rich. And now I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but for me personally, it's more about being financially independent. But
Mm.
what I'm trying to get at with saying that is, even in the difference, okay, you're 18, I'm 23, right? Some of those initial ideals you had will go through a period of refinement as you begin to
Mm.
dwell on them more and unpack them more and realize, okay, what comes with being rich? What comes with being financially independent? What comes with being financially free? Or what comes with self improvement? What comes with being a man? What comes with being a woman?
Yeah.
And we begin to unpack these ideals and realize that even though a lot of these things may sound the same, they all have differences, or they might be extremely similar, but for me, one thing might mean something a little different to the other thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
Does that
got you.
make sense?
Yeah.
Because for you, for example, rich might mean financially independent, but for me, rich means kind of a rich lifestyle in terms of you're trying to show off that lifestyle. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what you were saying that you
Mhm.
want to do, but for me, that is why I'm not really after that kind of rich status. Although being rich does come with being financially independent. So I hope people can kind of see what I'm saying here is that even though these
Yeah.
things are similar and some would say they go hand in hand, you know, for me, I tend to look at it a bit more of a holistic level and say, okay, well, what do I think comes with being rich? And that could also be, that doesn't mean I'm perfect in thinking that way either. That could be just how I'm able to see things now. And as I get older and I mature, I might begin to see things differently. And I might begin to say, you know what, even though rich doesn't sit with me well, it is an accurate representation of the lifestyle I'm going for. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
And
So it's like,
yeah. That's why you need people in your life, a small group of friends, mentors that can help you, and you can bounce your ideas off them so that you are able to formulate your own opinion on the matter.
mm. And so this age of discovery that I've been harping on about, not so much, but we've talked about it in a few different episodes now, and I've said it from about 18 to 26, right? For me, it's really about painting your picture, right? Painting your picture exactly how you want it to be painted, and then start either maybe, you might start in the little corner here, and that's
Mm.
you going to university or whatever, right? And so you're actively, making your canvas and making your sketch and saying this is what I want my life to look like. And then as you progress from 27, 28, 29, 30, I almost forgot how to count for a second. I was about to say 28, 30. Maths was
Wait,
never
is
my
that
strong
right?
point.
Oh, right.
Maths was never my thing. But
Oh,
as you
right.
progress, right, you're
Mm.
then putting in the paint. You then say, yeah, this is what I want my life to look like. Yep, 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 yep.
Sometimes you've got to cut your problems off like your ear, like Van Gogh, the painter.
Oh my,
Van Gogh. Is it Van Gogh?
Van
I
Gogh,
don't know. Oh, Van Gogh.
Van Stop. No, that was
You just
stupid.
gotta go. I keep it moving.
Oh god. No, but it's like, in this age of discovery, 1826, we really begin to say, okay, these are the things that I would like, and we just have this, loose sketch of kind of, yeah, this is the way things can go. Yeah, I'd like it like that. I'd like it like this.
Yeah.
La di da di da. As we get older, it gets more refined. And the thing is, with paint, when we paint it, it sets. And
Mm.
if you notice with your parents, probably, or people that you know who are older, they're very set in their ways. That's because their paint has set. I actually came up with this
Mm.
concept on the spot right now. So if people want to give me a round of applause, that would be awesome. No, I'm tired. But I actually did come up with it right now. That's that part I'm not playing about. But it just kind of clicked to me when you were talking that, yeah, actually, you know what? This age of discovery is we're just learning how we would like to paint our own unique picture, our own we're all a canvas, we're all a work in the making, you know?
Yeah.
And all we have to do is kind of understand where do I want to get to? And different people have different destinations. There's also some speech can be difficult. Rewind. Oh my god. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was saying,
Me?
what I find, no, mate, I don't like you, mate. No, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was saying, I find it really interesting that there are people that choose to be cleaners and stuff like that, full knowing what lifestyle that will give them. I'm not talking about people who have to do that job because they can't get another job, but people who are well educated or whatever, but they still choose to be a cleaner. So I find that fascinating, and it's really amazing that we have a society where people can be happy enough in themselves to take the jobs that aren't as
I
flashy or
guess.
whatever. Because if nobody did it, we wouldn't function as a society. Generally, so I'm like, I think it's really amazing that people's canvases can be different, and people can say, you know what, yeah, I am gonna. This is gonna be my part in society, and this is what I want to do, and I'm happy to be a cleaner, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or I'm happy to be a footballer and that's it, or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? But then some people, like Damian Lillard, for example, he says, you know what, I want to play basketball, but I also want to be a rapper.
Half gangster, half
Oh
basketball.
my days. This guy's roasting our cousin. Half gangster, half rap.
Oh my god. Don't get me crying on this podcast,
Oh
friends.
my days. Yeah, but that's where I think age of discovery really begins is, 18 now, you're out of school, you now begin to see what the real world is like. And what has that been like for you, seeing what day to day is like? I will, before you answer that question, I will tell everyone something really funny that you said that was absolutely ridiculous. And I think you know what I'm going to
Oh, I'm
say.
about to get exposed.
This guy, our mom asked him to do something.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Our mom asked
Here
him to
we
do
go again.
one small thing.
Small.
Yes.
I don't even remember.
I
What
don't
was
remember
it?
what it was, but I remember it was not some significant task. This guy comes up with a genius response. Hey, mom, I'm tired. I can't. I worked on consecutive days.
Shit.
Like, that's not the reality for 99% of the world. Even our 13-year-old brother that goes to school said, bruv, I go to school on consecutive days. What are you talking about?
I was in a place of desperation, man. Things were not looking good.
You were in a place where you were beginning to realize what the real world is like. And how have you found it?
It sucks. No, I'm joking. Sometimes when you get out of school, you know, when you're in school, you have these glasses on. You have these glasses on. You only see school, you only see work, you might only see football. And then once you get out of school, you're just like, let me take these glasses off. Take the glasses off. There's a whole world out there. Things are not the same as they were in school. Let me tell you that. It's not the same whole it's not the same whole um I've got to know everyone. Like in school, you want to be popular. Oh, I've got to know these people. I've got to know these people. But let me tell you, in life, what you need are about two or three friends, bruv. Get two or three friends, get them close. Stick close with them, like glue. And then just like I was saying before, bounce your ideas off them. Start to understand them as a person, and as you understand them, you'll start to understand yourself, and that will help you in life. And I've picked up stuff from you, and I'd like to think you've picked up stuff from me. So there you go. Just keep it moving, as I would say.
So, what
Take
have
it
been
one
some of
day at a
your.
time.
Pardon?
I said, take it one day at a time. Jamaica said,
Sometimes in
yeah.
life.
Oh my gosh.
What would you say have been your biggest. Bruh, for some reason, the words are not wording today. Maybe it's because I was not even. Anyway, let's not even get into that.
What?
No, I was going to say I wasn't prepared because the thing is, you messaged me saying, oh,
Uh,
can we record our episode? And I was
I'm
like,
always
crap, well, we
ready.
have to do it right now then. So I was like, oh. So
Right
then,
now.
yeah, legit. He said it like that. Oh my
Pick up
God.
the
Oh my.
phone. I swear. Do
But,
it.
no. Yeah, so I wasn't prepared at all because I had to do it now in this time slot because that was the only time slot I had left for the rest of the day that would have worked for the two of us. So that's why I'm saying maybe that's why my words aren't wording because I was not even prepared at all. This is all, you know,
Off the dome.
off the dome. But every episode is off the dome. But in terms of just a bit of mental preparation, knowing that there's an episode coming up helps, if that makes sense. Whereas this
You didn't
one
tell
was,
them?
huh?
You didn't tell them, bro?
What do
I
you
have a
mean?
fucking script right
Oh my, oh wow! I was like, what?
here.
What?
I can
What
tell
book
them
is
that.
that, bro?
Oh, it's Pino.
Right. Oh, I love that.
English things.
English things. Big up the motherland. Nah, jokes. That's going to offend a lot of Africans that we just said England is the motherland.
I forgot I was black.
Okay, this is a thing that white people need to understand. Okay, maybe I'm the only person that thinks this way, but I never wake up going, "Oh yeah,
No, me as well.
I'm black." That is not how life works for black people. Newsflash.
So
That is
when you
not.
guys are doing all this palaver, yeah, man, Black History Month, I cannot give two craps. I can't lie, bro. What is all this? Why is there 1 month for black people, bro? Where's the white history month?
It's
Come on, man.
shortest month in the year as well.
Yeah.
Are they making
Pick
fun of
up
your
the black
height as
people.
well?
Okay, we're doing low blows. We're
We're not
doing
doing
low
any low
blows.
blows, mate.
But yeah, like I was saying, I just think it's a bit insulting, I can't lie.
That's fair. What would you say has been the biggest challenge of your first year as a man?
This injury, bro.
Pause. Wait, no, not pause in that way. Sorry. I meant pause in the sense that now, with the way times are changing, there's a lot more people you can actually ask that question to. I just think that. Like, there's a
I
lot
thought I
more.
said something sus, bro.
No. I just meant there's a lot more people nowadays that you can ask what was your first year like as a man. Continue.
Yeah. So no, I'm joking. But but yeah, this injury, bro, was a big thing for me. Big thing mentally, big thing physically, and it really did take a toll. But I just saw lightning. But yeah, it was also hard because God, can you stop? But it was also hard because I was in England and you were in Australia. Uh, Mom and dad were in Australia. I was having to deal with this on my own and go through it on my own. So it's very hard for me to get over that. And even though I was like 15, 16 in England, I it just it just followed through until I was 18, and I've only just been able to fully get over it, to get in that mental mind space and change my mentality and move forward.
Why would you say that is? Like, what was the biggest challenge with getting past it? Was it that you've never been through something like that before, or you didn't know how to get help or anything? Because, for example, now this is kind of stupid, but it's stupid when I look back on it. I was in a situation where I was in a relationship, I broke up with a chick, right? And I didn't know how to get past it. And that was the biggest struggle for me when I was like 17, 16, 17. Right? I didn't know how to get past it because, like, bro, this is so intense. And the fact that I'd never gone through it before made me feel so lost. So that's why I'm asking, is it that you just felt lost because you didn't know how to go? You know what I'm trying to say?
I always know what you're trying to say, mate. But yeah, it was very hard just letting go, I would say. Just letting go, because it's never happened to me before. I've never had a serious injury like that. I've been pretty fit in football. The worst injury I've ever had is a swollen ankle. I've been out for 2 weeks. But with this chest injury and arm injury, I was out for about 2 years. So it's very hard being away from football. It's also very hard because, you know, we love the Premier League. It's very hard watching a team like Chelsea. team like Chelsea, just watching them being able to play football so freely, and you're just stuck on the couch. You can't do anything. You can't. I couldn't even do any push-ups. Couldn't go out for a run. I couldn't even walk really. If I walked for a long period of time, my chest would just start hurting. So it was just hard to deal with, and I guess the way I dealt with it was, like I said before, you really got to know who you are. You really got to have that resilience. You got to know what you're fighting for. You got to know what your goals are. And like I said before, the outcome. The outcome is I want to be rich. Like I said before, I want to be wealthy. And what was the other one?
I don't know. You tell me, mate. It's your goals.
You can go back, but I want to be successful.
I
And
think that's what you said. Rich, wealthy, successful.
yeah, so that's the outcome. And what had to change was the goals to get to that outcome because now I'm not looking at a profession. I'm not looking to go into playing football for my profession. So yeah, it was a tough one letting that go. I think I've gone through it, and it will really help. I think in the future, in whatever problem comes my way.
Kind of as I've learned a few things in the last few years of my life, I begin to realize that what we might think at the time is a curse can turn out to be a blessing. And I think if you approach things with that when you're in the trenches and when things look bad, life does also start to get a bit easier, and it does get a bit easier to be resilient and to rebound from things that are going wrong and realize that although this is really difficult right now, it can be super beneficial to my future, right? And even with what I just shared before about the fact that I broke up with a chick and I was 16, 17, I didn't really know how to deal with it or handle it. That and getting past that and really pushing on from that is a large part of who I am today. It made me
Yeah,
realize that, okay, you know what? Going through that it's okay. It's okay to break up with someone. It's okay for things to not work out. What's not okay is for me to not give maximum effort and to try in those situations. Another thing that really affected me in my life today that I thought was a curse at the time was when our granddad died and I wasn't able to go to his funeral because of COVID and everything. The minimum it would have cost me just for the flights was 10K. And I was like, is that a good investment now to go to a funeral when, at that time I was trying to buy my first house and that kind of thing.
yeah,
And then it made me realize I want to work hard to be in a position where if that kind of thing happens again, where it's a funeral for someone overseas and or an important event for a family member overseas, I'm in a position to be able to do that despite a pandemic like COVID or whatever. Now, I do understand that COVID is not something that has ever happened in the history of the human race before. Other pandemics have happened, but that one hasn't. And obviously, the impacts of this pandemic have been astronomical and nobody could have expected it. But what I'm trying to get at is I realize that, okay, life will not always go the way I want it to go. Extraordinary things, chaotic things can happen. But can I work hard to put myself in a position to where I can ride the wave better? Does
yeah,
that make
because you
sense?
have to. Because these things are out of your control. You can't do anything to
Yeah.
change the
And so I
past.
began to accept, okay, that was difficult and it really bothered me that I wasn't able to go to that funeral. But at the
Hmm.
same time, okay, I can do different things now, right? I was, I think, 21 at the time and I was looking at, okay, all right, I didn't have an emergency fund back then and I didn't think it was necessary because I'm young. I don't need an emergency fund. I don't have kids, whatever, whatever, whatever. And so I'd say, well, look, actually, yeah, I've been saving for a house, and that's great. Well done. Okay, that's great. But it's also having that humility and realizing, okay, even though you might be doing something to where you think you're doing well or whatever, there's still other things you can learn along the way. And so I learned that it's great that I've been saving for a house, but also I should be having an emergency fund for things like this that happen out of the blue, right?
Yeah.
And so then that thing that people can look at and say, "Oh, it's terrible you weren't able to go to your granddad's funeral. It must have been very difficult," especially as he was someone I was close with and I really looked up to.
Mm.
It made me realize, okay, look, there are things now I can learn and do from this and make me realize, okay, look, yeah, setting up an emergency fund is going to be really beneficial for me because it means that if unexpected expenses come up, I can better handle it. And so, although getting a house was my priority because that aligned with some of the financial goals I have, it's important to also have extra money saved so that you can also get through other things that might not be covered by whatever's in your spending account, if you
Yeah.
even have a spending account. Do you know what I mean? Because people do their finances different ways. So what may look like a curse at the time can really turn out to be a blessing. It's important that you realize, okay, this sucked, but this is not the end, and really embrace the concept that you've made
Yeah.
it through all your bad days. You are 100% when it comes to facing your bad days. There is not a bad day or a bad time in your life that you haven't actually got through.
Yeah. What can look like a mountain now can look like a straight road later.
Mm.
So
But also, it might look like a mountain now, but guess what? You might be at the foot of it. Once you're on top of it, you ain't got a care in the world.
that's
I see all you people. You get on top of the mountain, you lift your shirts off, ah!
yeah. Please
You know,
don't.
and that's how it's going to be. Pardon?
I said, please don't lift your shirt up. He's been snarking.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Messing up and snacking. Hey,
I told you I'll get you back.
I was eating good. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but so it's really about, okay, this thing happened, and don't get me wrong. You know, this is stuff I still have to try and remind myself as well. It's not like my brain is automatically, oh, I don't care about anything. Allow yourself to feel the emotions.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be bothered by it, but realize that it's your choice as to whether this breaks you or not. And whatever, yeah, and whatever you're going through, there is some way around it, and you have to hold on to that hope for dear life, for dear life, you know. And I understand that people listening right now could have been through all manner of things, some a billion times worse than anything I've ever experienced, but you have to hold on to hope.
Hope is the key.
I hope
Reminds
that helped you.
oh, it's like I've been watching The Flash recently, even with him, bruv. Well, if you don't know The Flash, he's the
He's the fastest
speedster,
man alive, just not in that episode.
fastest man alive. Yeah. He's always saying, I'm Barry, I'm the fastest man alive. He's never the fastest man alive. Don't
He's
be
not even the
joking.
fastest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not even the fastest man in that flipping episode, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but even with him, all the powers that he's been given, him going back to the past and trying to change the past, it doesn't even fully work out for him. So
Mm.
he's had to learn to try and embrace the future so that he can deal with his past.
Embrace the past so he can push forward in his future.
Yeah.
But I guess you could also say, yeah, embrace the future. But maybe accept his past is better to say. Because yeah, that's very right. Because him going back to try and fix his past actually brought him more problem in the future. And he realized that his mum dying was actually beneficial to his life.
Yeah.
Even though it's it is extremely difficult to convince someone that that kind of thing is beneficial.
Yeah.
But it's all about, okay, can you realize that, okay, we don't have control over these things, unfortunately. And for me as well, you know, Granddad dying, it's not the way I planned it to be. Obviously, I wanted Granddad to be able to come to my wedding. I wanted Granddad to be able to see me buy my first house. I wanted Granddad to be there for a lot of these occasions. And things really didn't go the way I wanted them to go. But at the end of the day, can I just accept, okay, that's the way life was always going to go? And it's okay that happened because what I can still do is honor his memory and still keep pushing myself forwards. And that's the way that, I'm a big believer in, instead of RIP, it's RI me, in terms of rest in me. And so Granddad rests in me, and I carry him on. I carry his legacy on by still committing to the things I was committed to whilst he was there. And still saying, you know what? He always believed in me. He saw this in me. I can keep working harder to prove he was right about me. And so one day I can sit back and say, you know what, Granddad, I'm so grateful that you believed in me, that you saw things in me.
Yeah.
I honored that.
Mm.
I respected that. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to try and pass that down to my
Yeah,
kids
keep
and
the
my
legacy
grandkids.
moving forward.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. It's very important to not just be there for people when they're around, but be there for people when they're not around. And that includes for me things like death.
Mm. Yeah, it's very important to go through these things so that you come out better.
Pressure makes diamonds, right? And I think we often forget that in society, but it's really the things that push you and squeeze you and whatever that show you who you are.
You
And show
squeeze.
you don't know her name yet, but you might
Oh
soon.
boy.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. She's my slime. Isn't that what the young kids say?
The young kids, bro. I don't know what young kids you be talking to.
I don't talk to young kids.
You talk to me. No, I'm joking.
You're a man now. We've just been talking about that. You're a big man now, bro. Oh wow, this guy really just flexed. Oh, it days. See, the thing is, when you're 18, you're gonna make some mistakes that you regret, and that for him was one of them.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This guy. Always with the jokes.
Stay hydrated, people. This is your, can't really say daily reminder. This is your episodely reminder to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really need to work on is drinking more water and that kind of stuff. Is that something you find difficult, or is that something that you?
Okay, this is very strange, but I'm very good at drinking a lot of water. It's like bottled up.
Mm,
But when I actually have to go and get a glass out of the cabinet and pour water, bro, it's freaking long.
really?
Yeah, I find it so much easier just getting a bottle of water, just drinking and finishing it. Because it's so easy to go through like 3 or 4 of them a day.
Mm. That was a chair, right?
Yeah, what else? What do you think it is?
That sound could have been something else. Let me just say that.
Baby, please be quiet. No, I'm
Oh wow!
joking.
What sound, bro?
It's the chair. Yeah.
You know those ones where like make it sound like that, and then somebody else says, "Was that you or the chair?" And then you try so hard to replicate that sound, and you can't.
Boys, believe me, it's one of those ones.
Trust me. Trust me.
Or
That
when
was
one
the
of the
chair.
guys in your group, man, flipping farted, could be you. And
Oh wow.
and all the boys are suddenly detectives now, saying, "I smelled it at 1:59."
Oh wow. You know those ones where like your boys are gonna say whoever smelt it dealt it, so you just have to suffer in silence.
And then if you actually call out the person that actually did it, they'll be like, "No, it's you." Those ones you just gotta keep it on the
That is a
low,
weight of embarrassment I'll never
on
be
the
able to take.
low.
Oh wow, this guy.
Yeah, I can't do those ones, bro. That's another one about being a man. He farts. You have to overcome those
Maybe
ones.
that's a level of manhood I haven't got to yet. Manhood? Is that the right word? I don't think so. Maybe that's yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
What were you
So
thinking when I
yeah,
said manhood?
I was thinking the same thing. That's what you were thinking.
Great minds think alike.
They do.
That's it for today, by the way, everyone.
All right.
I knew you wanted to say something, so that's why I cut it in that stupid way. I don't even know why I did that. I don't even know. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming, listening, as usual. I hope you enjoyed it.
Of
David.
course they enjoyed it.
David's signing off. We will actually see David later on in this season because he will actually co-host an episode with me with a guest that we have planned. Do you remember the guest?
Yeah, I won't reveal it.
Good. I was hoping you would understand. I was trying not to reveal it.
I know.
But I was hoping you remember the plan. But yeah, thank you everyone. We'll catch you in the next one. Well, he won't. I will. Well, he might. We don't know. We might bring him back. Bro, this guy, why you always shoot people, man? That's personal. That's a whole different kind of personal.
Gosh.
All right. As we say, see you, Haga.
Yaga.
Oh wow. This guy.